what's up, everybody? It's Dan here. Welcome to another DanQ review. I do that every time. Oh, DanQ review Super Show. Thank you. Anyways, a couple really popular games that were anticipated greatly that I really want to, that I'm interested, psyched to share my thoughts on. A lot of people wanted to know about these games. You know, games that people actually wanted to see for once instead of a bunch of random crap. But anyway, let's get into that. Like always in the Super Shows, at any time you'd rather see one review over the other. If you don't want to see a certain review or whatever, there's annotations below me here on the bottom that'll skip you to the point in the video where those reviews start. Like I said, you can always shut me up anyway to get to the first review to skip the intro if you'd like by clicking that as well, or you can go straight to the second review. But if you want to see both and you like hearing me talk, just let it play out. Okay, sound good? All right, guys. So let's start off with our first game for today. Really excited for this guy, and I'll show you right here. Max Payne 3. I did it on the PlayStation 3. I haven't played a Rockstar game in a long time. Always sketchy about Rockstar games. Now, here's something I want to mention before I get into the review about Max Payne 3. Guess what, guys? Okay, just a second. It's always been known that Take-Two and Rockstar, well, mainly Take-Two, which is the parent company of Rockstar Games, has been very sketchy with their video games, like in the fact that, like any footage that, really, I'm doing this very loosely, spoils the game is completely, you know, it's garbage or whatever, and they'll remove your video or whatever. That was a big concern with Max Payne 3 as well, and a lot of people didn't know what to think, so everyone's like, Dan, you're gonna get blocked, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, I just want to make something clear, guys. I posted Red Dead Redemption a couple years ago, actually. That was one of my, some people say it's their favorite playthrough yet, so far, and even that was one of my first ones. It wasn't my first one, but it was one of the ones that really got me into YouTube. Anyway, I actually was fine. I sailed under the radar for that guy as well, until I got to, until later, where Rockstar put a copyright strike on the last 3 parts, I believe? Or was it 2? Yeah, the last 3, 78, 79, and 80, were blocked, and I received copyright strike. Guess what, guys? In total, for every single one over my account ever since I've had this, I've had 4 copyright strikes. How many am I sitting at right now? 0. That's the thing is, all these things are not legit. And even if they are legit, the Rockstar, whoever the case is not going to waste their time on somebody like me to go through a lawsuit. They're just not going to reply. They got too much crap, right? So most of the time, and which it is protected against fair use, which means you're not filing a counteract. Anyway, I'm getting really off topic of what this video is about, but I just want to mention, Rockstar has changed their tune. If you're doing a gameplay of one of their games, and it involves live commentary or your own critiquing or whatever, which is basically what a playthrough is, right? Or a walkthrough with commentary or let's play or whatever you want to call it. That is now safe. So basically Rockstar, as long as I do it the way I'm doing it, Rockstar will not remove the video or give you a copyright strike. They even post it on their own website under their terms and regulations. The only way it's going to be different is if you post a non-commentary one or just strictly cutscenes or something. That's a no-go, and that makes sense. But so we're safe, ladies and gentlemen. So GTA 5 hopefully will proceed as planned without any hiccups or anything like that, and I'm psyched for that game. But I'm sorry, that was like 3 minutes of me blabbering. So let's just get into the summary for Max Payne 3 before I get too ahead of myself here. Alrighty, so Max Payne 3 is available on PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and soon-to-release PC. It is a third-person shooter. It is developed, okay, this is pretty nutty, developed by Rockstar Vancouver, Rockstar New England, Rockstar London, and Rockstar Toronto. Funny that 2 of those cities are in Canada. It's pretty funny. And the publisher is obviously Rockstar Games. Now, what do I feel about Max Payne? Well, Rockstar always usually puts out good titles. And I'm always itching to try Rockstar games because of their reputation. And I gotta say, I was impressed. This game has, let's just take a look. Let's look at the gameplay factors. Now, it isn't Max Payne unless you do bullet time or shoot dodge or bullet dodge, whatever you want to call it. It's amazing. The whole fact of slowing down time and jumping, you don't have to jump, but it really makes the gameplay really entertaining, and I really like that part. So the bullet time is a great element, and honestly, if it's not in Max Payne, you probably would not want to play Max Payne. That's not true. Don't hold me to that. But I'm just saying, if you're following the series for a long time, you got to have it in the series. Trust me. So that was a really fun element. It was a lot of fun, and it made at first I totally forgot about it because the last Max Payne game I played was Max Payne 1 when it came out. That's how long ago it was, and people were yelling at me, "How could you forget, you freaking idiot?" You know. But whatever, right? So anyway, I finally remember. I'm like, duh, there it is, right? So I got it, and it was a hell of a lot of fun to play it that way. How do I feel about the story mode? I'm gonna try and keep this review a little shorter, but I'm gonna because I've been babbling. Anyway, what do I feel about the story? The whole excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm drawing blanks here. The whole storyline and all that, the aspect of the story. Was it a nice campaign? Playing as Max, different unique environments. Yes, there was so much. I liked the story. The storyline made sense. It was really entertaining. It was it kept your interest. So the storyline is really solid with this game, and that's one of the major things I liked about it. Because I mentioned this to you guys before. I am a single player guy. I prefer campaigns. I prefer story modes over the multiplayer. And I'm always looking for a good single player experience. Because I feel like that's why I play a video game, for an experience, I mean, multiplayer, yeah, it's fun and dandy, but I'm more of a guy who wants to see a good story. It's like a movie, but you're interacting, you know what I mean? So that's what I look for in video games. Is it entertaining? Is it solid? Does it make sense? Does it keep your interest? Etc. etc. This game does, and I'm really happy about that. Length-wise, it's really good length. What was it? Okay, it took me 40 parts. So that was about 10 hours of footage. That makes sense, yes. Because it's usually about 1 hour per part. Sorry, I record in 1 hour segments of 15 minutes. So 10 hours of gameplay for the single player alone. So you're going to get a lot of time in single player. It took me, I let this game go out, and it took me all week to do because I wanted to give you guys enough gap between uploads so you don't get spammed. That's my best. I try to do that as much as I can. So that was really awesome. I loved the single player campaign, and that the story, the length. It's all awesome. Another thing I wanted to mention: a very very unique soundtrack that I enjoyed. It's dominantly the soundtrack was dominantly created by a group named Health. And they're like noise rock and ambient type stuff. And I don't know if you guys remember that one part in the game. When, I'm not going to spoil anything, but when it was closer to the end, when I'm in the airport, right? That one beat, and for the love of God, I was just like, that's a sick beat. Even though it's simple, it's sick. And like, somebody give me a bass drop, because that thing was demanding a bass drop, man, trust me. So I hope I see a dubstep remix of that song eventually. If someone put my commentary in there, because I would be like, drop the bass, and this needs a bass drop, or something like that, just putting that in, that'd be so awesome, but you never know, right? Okay, anyway, so the soundtrack was really entertaining and unique. I liked it. It suited the atmosphere. Sometimes when you were in Brazil, the slums, the favelas or whatever, you get that, that, okay, that's so stereotypical. I'm sorry. I don't mean to. I just don't know. I can't speak Portuguese or Spanish or any of that, so it's the Colombian style, este type music. It's really suiting for the style, so they were really good for that, and I like that part about it. Alright, that's single player. That's what I liked about the single player. What do I feel about multiplayer? Multiplayer, I was not sure about at all. I never watched any trailers. Usually with me, I'm so busy, I don't have time to look at trailers, look at gameplay footage, whatever, right? So I'm usually a first-time experience whenever I'm playing games. Now, the multiplayer, right away I can tell you, it felt like Uncharted multiplayer. Except here's the thing. I liked this multiplayer better than Uncharted's multiplayer. This had some amazing multiplayer. I loved the feel of it. It was easy to control. More importantly, I kicked ass in it for at least most of the part, right? I was dominant. This is one of the multiplayer games it was one of the games in multiplayer I was actually good at, which is a rarity if you guys are longtime followers. I'm usually not that good at multiplayer, but this one I was, and I loved the feel of it. It was really fun. There was a lot of there's different game modes, different maps, different characters, so much customization, the level ups. It's really unique, and I really liked the multiplayer in this game. It was solid. So the thing is, when you look at this in a package, you get a lot. Let's just recap my brief review here. So you got a really compelling story with a great length to it, with suiting music, interesting characters, the control scheme, the whole shoot dodge and all that is really fun. And you're like, okay, I'm done, there's not really else I can do, because you can go back and collect things like golden guns and whatnot. But there's also, you can say, well, what else can I do? Let's try the multiplayer. The multiplayer is something you can continue to play. It's something that I, which I normally don't do, make time in my life to just play it casually. I don't play games casually anymore because I can't. There's just too much on the plate, right? With full-time work and YouTube work, there's just so much there. So that's saying something. Negatives, to be honest, I didn't really have too many negatives about this game. However, this game isn't perfect for a couple reasons, obviously, but I'm trying to pinpoint a couple negatives that I noticed in this game. Because I did complain a bunch, like a bit. Like, okay, let's just say, okay, sometimes it'd basically be a one-man army. Yet this game is very realistic, which is good. But sometimes it would be a little tough to get through parts, even when you're using the quick time, because you die like really fast. Like as soon as you start getting hit, you die, and then the problem is at the same time you don't always have painkillers. You can run out of painkillers. Yeah, they're pretty dominant throughout the game, but at the same time you could be in an area where there is no painkillers, and you have to keep grinding until you beat it, and you finally say, okay, you finally pass it, and you're just done. You're just, okay, I finally did it, but after a while, it takes a while, right? And they will give you painkillers, obviously, which is the same thing as a health pack, the more you die. So that's my one complaint. Pretty easy to die, not a whole lot of health when you need it, kind of thing. But other than that, a really well-rounded game. So what am I going to give Max Payne 3? That's my summary there. Max Payne 3, from me, is getting an 8 out of 10. A really solid game. I do recommend you grab this guy. It's going to be a lot of fun for you, especially if you're a fan of the Max Payne series. Obviously, you wouldn't need to know what my thoughts are. You would have bought Max Payne anyway. But even if you're a newcomer and you don't, like for me, for example, I played Max Payne 1, but not 2. You'll still like this game. Even if you didn't play Max Payne 1 or 2, you'll still like this game, I'll bet you anything. So I do recommend this to anybody. It is something to have in your collection. There's lots to do in it, and lots to keep you entertained. So that's Max Payne 3, 8 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think of my score. I'd love to hear what you guys think of it, etc., etc. So let me know. Alright, guys. Let's get that out of the way, and let's move on to the second game of today that I am reviewing, and that is the highly, highly anticipated Ghost Recon Future Soldier. I've always been a big fan of the Ghost Recon series. I remember my favorite one was, what was it? God, this is a long time. I think it was 2003 it came out on the Xbox and PS2. Tropic Thunder or Island something. God, you think I'd know because it was so awesome, but Ghost Recon Island Wars, or God, I'm sorry, I can't remember it, but it's something to do with Tropic or Island or something like that. But that was one of my favorites. But this game was different in the fact that it was a few years in the future, not many, but believable future, and there were futuristic items, but we'll get that into the review. So 1 second, let me do the summary for Ghost Recon Future Soldier. Alright, Ghost Recon is available on Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and soon to be available in a month or so on PC. I don't know, they always do that. Pretty lame. It is a tactical shooter. It is available. It's developed. Another one of these. Developed by Ubisoft Paris, Ubisoft Red Storm, and Ubisoft Romania. There's a lot of that. I don't know why, but collaborations seem to work. It's just my idea. Not my idea, my thoughts, sorry. It's my idea to collaborate. I'm the reason this game is what it is. No. And it's published by Ubisoft. Okay. So, what can I say about Ghost Recon? Now, as I said earlier, like a few minutes ago, I love single player, and that's my whole thing. That's usually what I start off on. Lately, shooter games have been kind of disappointing in the sense that their single players are over like that. Now, before we get into that, I would like to comment on the gameplay, the whole atmosphere of it, really quickly. The gameplay, this game is really good in terms of gameplay. It really feels like a real shooter. You know what I mean? It makes sense. There's a lot of realism in it, like accuracy, and it's something you don't always see nowadays. Like everything's realistic. Like it's just realistic. Okay, it's something like what it would be like, except down the future. Which is, I want to explain this in another aspect. The whole future soldier aspect of this game is so cool. I liked it because one of my favorite features was the camo, and the camo was something like you'd be walking, right? Say you're standing up, you wouldn't get it, but if you were crouched or you're walking slowly, your camo would actually, it would be like a reflective coating over your body. You're there. You're not 100% invisible, but it's a realistic camouflage where if you weren't moving, no one would really see you. I mean, yeah, you'd be there if you were moving like crazy, but it's just so realistic in that aspect. It makes sense. It seems legitimate. You know what I mean? Someone could show this camo technology to me, and I would be like, that seems real. Like, that could be something that exists in this world right now, because they actually made it believable. And the whole camo, the whole stealth, was really awesome. Now, before we move on, before I get more into that, I would like to comment on the campaign. Like I said, I love campaign. That's one of my favorite aspects. This game I totally forgot about because the last Ghost Recon I played was Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter in 2006. I never played GRA 2. That came out in 2007. Was there another Ghost Recon? I don't believe so. I'm sorry, you'll have to... Yeah, I think Advanced Warfighter 2 was the next one, and then since for console releases is what I mean. So, I think the GRA was the last one I played. I had forgotten how well they did their campaigns. Not only was this game long, it was, like I said, about 10 hours long. Even there was a couple trial and errors, but not many. It was like solid, like straight shooting, boom, boom, boom. So the length of this game was something I was extremely satisfied with. I was like, this is insanely long. I mean, I wasn't expecting this. I thought I would be done the first day. It took me a couple days because I was trying to pace myself. At the same time, I wanted to get it done, but there was so much to it. Like, I mean, I kept playing the game, and the game kept going on, and it was awesome because the game, I'm going to go into my next favorite thing, has some amazing recon and teamwork. Like, I'm gonna summarize this as it has some amazing team, what am I trying to say? What's a good word for it? God, my nose is just driving me nuts. I'm sorry. It's like I have to sneeze, but I don't. I have allergies right now. Anyway, what's it? I don't know what the word is, but like teamwork, essentially. Amazing teamwork in this game. It's unbelievable, and the fact that you can control your team. For example, the drone. I love the drone. I would dominantly get most of my kills with the drone. And what the drone would do is you'd throw it up in the air and you'd be scouting enemies in the area. And the drone would find them, and you'd mark them, right? Now, depending, there's only 4 of you in your group, which means, say for example, there's 10 guys in an area, and they're all patrolling. You'd basically have to work out a strategy, which is something I'm going to say right now. This is amazing strategy. Like, it's a strategy. It's a tactical shooter. It's strategy. You have to think of a strategy, the best way to take out these guys. It's really amazing. So basically, I'm up in the drone. You got 10 guys in the area, and yet there's like these 10 guys are on a route, right, a path. So they're on this path. Now here's the thing: you could take out 4 guys if you want to. However, there's a possibility that a few guys over there might see all those 4 guys drop. So if you're in the clear, you could take out 4. So mark, 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 and you could do a sync shot, which basically is on your go. Once you fire, the rest of your team will fire on the marked targets, which was so cool. Because you didn't have to either. You didn't have to take any shot. For example, say there was a lone guy just in the forest. You're like, let's just get rid of him. Mark him, hold down right bumper or R1 on PS3, and whoever marked him, the teammate will take the shot and take him out. So depending on where the placement of the enemies were, you'd really have to think. Take out the high ground guys first, since they have a vantage point to see what's going on. Then take out the guys in the back who are patrolling. Then once I'm down to the guys in the center who are 4 of them who are all talking, mark all 4, target all 1 of them, boom, the area is clear. This game really made you think, but you could go in guns a-blazing if you wanted to. Me, I preferred the stealthy side, taking them out with synchronized shots, things like that. But if, for example, I accidentally screwed up a synchronized shot and they caught it, I'd have to go loud and just start shooting like crazy. But I got really good at tactical shooting with this drone, and that was my favorite part of this game. The drone was so cool, and if you guys like the stealth aspect, but not totally, you're going to love this, because it is so cool. Like, just the blend of them works really well in this game. That's what I liked about this. How did I feel about the story of the campaign? Well, shooter campaigns aren't always the most enthralling. They're usually pretty generic, and that was the thing I noticed about this game. Generic kind of campaign. It's just another enemy you're fighting, basically. Another guy, main terrorist guy you're going after. So, storyline, nothing special. Actually, I'll put that as a con. It's generic. I mean, it's all about the gameplay more over the story. But I would like to have seen a more less than generic storyline, which you can't really do. I know it's not really fair for me to say that, but I'm saying it. So it's a pretty generic storyline, but that's okay. The gameplay was still really fun. So I like that. I like that single player. The really fun gameplay with the camo, the drone, the recon, the tacticalness, the strategy element of this game is so awesome, along with the long campaign, which you'll enjoy. Okay, let's go to multiplayer, which is where a lot of people will play. Multiplayer in this game, I'm not gonna lie, is really good too. There's a lot of teamwork involved. There's a lot of cooperation. There's a lot of this and that. I like it. I like the multiplayer. It was really fun. Something you really need to do with a clan or a group of buddies. I think that would make it way better, and something that you really could do. And I think it's worth. I think definitely, if you're a Ghost Recon fan, you're gonna love this multiplayer. Yeah, hell, it upgrades what it was. The gameplay in this thing is really good on multiplayer. However, I have a couple beefs with the multiplayer, and I'll explain. This has no team deathmatch. Now, or deathmatch or anything where you just go for kills. The problem is, yes, they have things like, okay, there's one called, was it Conflict? Yes, Conflict, which is basically the closest thing to deathmatch, except you have little tiny objectives to capture throughout the map, and they keep changing, like capture this ammo supply, take out this EMP, etc., etc., and the first one to do it gets the point for that round, or whatever, right? And other than that, you have something called Assault, I believe it is. Is it Assault? Someone's going to probably correct me on that. No, it's not Assault, but it is an Assault game type. Find the bomb, arm it, etc. You have another one called... Oh, it's Siege. It's called Siege. No, is it Siege? Damn, I don't even remember what the names of the game types are. But you have that. You have ones where... you have one life, meaning you die, you're done. Basically, it's like a one-hit thing. The thing is, there were only 4 game modes, and they were all fairly similar in their own regard, with a little difference in each one. But they felt like I was doing the same thing, and I'm just like, I don't want to go for anything. I just want to shoot people and kill people. And I know that's Modern Warfare style, but hell, I want to feel like I could at least have the option to shoot people. So they needed a team deathmatch mode. They needed more modes with greater diversity. That was the problem with multiplayer. And unfortunately, that does kind of make you not want to play the multiplayer after a while. You get kind of bored of it. But it is fun gameplay. It just needs more to it. You know what I mean? So let's summarize Ghost Recon Future Soldier. In the single player and co-op, I should mention it's co-op. The game can be done completely in co-op, 4 players if you really want to. You have a amazing gameplay with amazing elements in terms of the camo, which I really love, the drone, the strategy of it. There's a lot of strategic elements of this game. The length of the campaign, just the great multiplayer feel, the really good multiplayer cooperative gameplay. But on the negative, you have generic campaign storyline, which is to be expected from something like this, a military shooter. And there just isn't enough game modes to keep you entertained throughout Ghost Recon. However, with that being said, I'm still going to give this game a rating, and I'm going to give it what it really does deserve, because this is a solid game. Like Max Payne 3, I'm giving Ghost Recon Future Soldier an 8 out of 10. Both 8s, both really great scores for these games. They are must-pick-ups for me. Ghost Recon was a lot of fun. You'll have a lot of fun with more friends, I believe. So, that's Ghost Recon. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts on each game. I'd really love to hear them. That's the point of this, to generate discussion. So, thanks everybody for watching this DanQ Review Super Show. Stay tuned for more footage coming up. Thank God Rockstar is finally allowing people to post gameplays with commentary on YouTube and other media websites, because it really is a way to get your game out there. So, thanks again, guys. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Take it easy. Comment, like, subscribe, favorite. Helps out. Peace. We have... Good day, sirs and madams.